So you're going to take this. Let's get your notes and whatever you need.
Dobro jutro in dobrodošli na našem Coffee to Connect petkovem. Zakaj delujem tako zmedeno? Zato, ker smo pred nekaj trenutki izgubili našo veleposlanico oziroma ameriško veleposlanico, ki bo naša gostja. Ampak na srečo nismo izgubili prav zares, ampak smo izgubili le tehnično. Tako da nekaj trenutkov boste še z mano in bomo uporabili ta moment za to, da lahko naredimo še nekaj, kar znamo dobro, ne vem čemu. Improviziramo. In sicer, Tonja, dobro jutro.
Dobro jutro, Ajša.
Če kaj, potem smo se naučili, da je potrebno v teh izrednih razmerah improvizirati, ohranjati humor pa dobro voljo, ampak imam tudi namen, zakaj sem prav tebe prosila, da improviziraš tole z mano. Vidim, da se že veleposlanica vključuje, zato da lahko poveš, da mi z Youngi in platforma Young še kar zelo resno nadaljujemo in da se veselimo novega ambasadorja Youngov in tudi 11. generacije. Tako da nekaj trenutkov za to, da lahko tisto, kar počneš raje promoviraš platformo Young.
Ja, Ajša, kot sem že zadnjič povedala, leto 2020 ni posebno samo zato, ker vstopamo v novo desetletje in ker se nam dogaja ta nova realnost, v katero bomo kmalu vstopili. Letos desetletnico programa Young letos praznujemo desetletnico programa Young Professionals in se veselimo že nove 11. generacije. Vpisi so zunaj še do 22. maja, tako da podjetja, kolegi, prijavite, nominirajte svoje kolege, za katere veste, da so liderji naslednje generacije. In pa še mogoče še enkrat ponovimo, 17. junija bomo izbirali Top potencial leta, malo drugače, ampak 10. generacija ne bo ostala brez ambasadorja in naslednji teden boste začeli tudi spoznavati 10 finalistov 10. generacije.
Torej, ker govoriš o ambasadorjih, mislim, da je tudi že ameriška veleposlanica v Sloveniji, gospa Blanchard, z nami. In bom zdaj preizkusila, če ne pa, jaz jo že vidim in verjamem, da jo bojo kmalu videli tudi vsi te, ki ste z nami. Naj povem, da je tudi za vas zdaj tudi priložnost, da zastavite tiste vprašanja, ki ste si želeli zastaviti. Za nas pa je bilo predvsem relevantno vprašanje to, kako se spremeni vloga veleposlanika v državi, ko se zgodi nekaj tako izrednega, kot se nam dogaja zdaj. Tako da preverjam zdaj s Katjo, ali smo z Lyndo že na vezi in ali se bo lahko vklopila. Katja, kako nam kaže? Ne vidim torej slike. Tonja, ti si moja ambasadorka Youngov, zato še eno vprašanje zate in sicer tudi vi imate, tako kot imamo mi Coffee to Connect, brez filtra z Young in me zanima, kaj je tisto, kar se zdaj mladi najbolj pogovarjate? Kaj vas najbolj skrbi? Kaj je tisto, v čemer pravzaprav iščete na nek način pogled naprej, zmerni optimizem, kar so nas naučili, da je potrebno? Kaj so tiste teme?
Ja, Ajša, hvala. Torej, mi se z platformo Young dobivamo vsak torek in četrtek popoldan in smo tole pandemijo koronavirusa izkoristili za to, da se še bolj povežemo, pa tudi spoznamo med sabo. Med nami so tako podjetniki, posamezniki, ki delajo na Ministrstvu za zunanje zadeve, posamezniki, ki delajo v HR managementu in zdaj je bila super priložnost, da vse te teme osvetlimo, obdelamo skozi koronavirus in tudi spoznamo, kaj počnemo. Recimo, včeraj smo se pogovarjali z Primožem Zupanom iz Ambils in Dejanom Habušem, Optibar, ki sta lahko nam malo razsvetlila ta vidik podjetništva, kako je zdaj mogoče primeren trenutek za izvesti tudi pivotacijo, kako recimo inovativnost, ideja management vpeljati v podjetje tudi, ko ni krize in kakšna priložnost je lahko kriza. Gostili smo recimo tudi Sabino Carli, ki trenutno dela v krizni konzularni celici na Ministrstvu za zunanje zadeve. Tako da ja, izkoriščamo ta trenutek kot priložnost, da se spoznamo in da naše druženje in vse te povezave, ki se gradijo že 10 let, nikakor niso na stranskem tiru, ampak so zdaj le še toliko bolj v ospredju. Mladi pa mogoče še vprašala si me, katere teme so zdaj relevantne za mlade. Definitivno vse zanima, kako hitro se bo nazaj zagnalo gospodarstvo in predvsem, kakšne priložnosti so zdaj v krizi, tako za podjetja kot posameznika.
In tukaj je nekaj, na kar, Tonja, tudi mi opozarjamo. Me zelo veseli, da je platforma Young središče optimizma še naprej tudi za celotno poslovno skupnost MČM-a. Optimizem in priložnost je tisto, o čemer smo govorili že prej. In seveda je to tudi nekaj, o čemer želimo tudi vnaprej govoriti. Vidim, da je že kar nekaj vprašanj se pojavilo za veleposlanico. Upam, da optimistično lahko pričakujemo, da bomo vzpostavili tehnično tudi to, ampak kar veliko se dogaja. Bi si želela, da bi lahko tudi drugi videli, koliko se dogaja za to, da vzpostavimo tale pogovor. Pogledam Katjo in ne bo še možno. Še eno vprašanje, Tonja, za tebe, če pa ne bo šlo, pa bomo našli nek drug termin. Morda ostanite še nekaj trenutkov z nami, upam, da bo veleposlanica lahko z nami. Zelo sem se veselila tega pogovora in če ne danes, pa kdaj drugič. Tonja, ti si pri nas poleg tega, da srčno delaš za Young, tudi vodja programa Best of the Best. Tudi to je nekaj, kar ne bomo opustili na MČM-u. Mogoče še beseda ali dve o tem. Najboljše poslovne prakse, verjetno se bojo spreminjale tudi zaradi vsega tega, kar se nam dogaja, pa vendarle smo že globoko v izboru, imamo 9 finalistov in zanima me, kako bo s tem na MČM-u.
Ja, Ajša, hvala še za to vprašanje in še mimogrede ti povem, da bomo potem skušali kar gospo veleposlanico vklopiti. Tako da še tole odgovorim. Za Best of the Best čestitke še enkrat vsem 9 finalistom. Načrtujemo pa, da bomo lahko septembra izvedli Best of the Best maraton in vse finaliste v kategorijah inovativnost, motivacija in povezovanje spoznali v enem dnevu. Se bomo pač prilagodili situaciji.
Tako kot se prilagajamo v tem hipu in zdaj res poskušam še enkrat, ali nam bo uspelo z gospo Blanchard, torej Katja, kako nam kaže zdaj? So, Linda?
Yes. Can you see me?
Finally, luckily, I'm so happy. I was really looking forward to our discussion, but now I'm super happy to have you on. Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you? I'm sorry.
No worries. To be honest, I was a bit on alert now because I was looking, will we succeed or not? Yes. But luckily, somehow, I see that every time we can succeed. And this ride of 8 interesting months for you in Slovenia, I really wonder how was for you coming to Slovenia, living here and being in this interesting times, to be honest.
I mean, times are amazing. Coming to Slovenia, I can't be more excited, but the interesting times with this COVID-19 have made things a bit more unique in our world. We were really moving along as an embassy and working together, and then all of a sudden things had to come to a halt and we had to look at things differently. So in these new times, there's not a roadmap. And so just like in all businesses and the embassy business, we had to step out and find new ways to reach out. And so we invented how to connect with each other, and then of course connecting to our partners in Slovenia. And the main thing is trying to keep the team motivated and bringing in new ideas and new ways that we can continue moving our platform forward. So it's been a bit different, and now we're focusing on the future, and that's what helps motivate, is focusing on the future.
And here is something that probably people not know, because when we are thinking about ambassadors and what your role is in the ordinary times, maybe we just see the protocol and we see just that you have some discussions, but basically, to be honest, you're working hard in order to get your mission done. So maybe if we just can go from the beginning, when you came to Slovenia, what was the core and what was the mission that you wanted to achieve? And of course, then we'll move to these times where things change.
Okay. Of course, we always stick and try to stick to our three main focuses, and our focuses are people to people, military / defense, and then business and investments. So with that, we feel that as long as we try and reach out in those areas and improve, that's where we pull in our best partnerships. So with the people to people, we've been working on education and institutions, the universities, and how we can bring in those type things, continue on our strong partnerships with science and technology and the Fulbright program. And we've already hosted 2 universities here and have others. We already had some that we've had to cancel. So, you know, I look forward to bringing in those other new university partnerships and working with those. And then, of course, with the people to people, we continue things like the National Parks program that we've done with Triglau, and as well as one of the old ambassadors' parks, national parks, in his state. So that partnership, his national park is Crater Lake. And so just those type things on the people to people. And then, of course, with the military, we continue to focus on cybersecurity, which is exciting. That's a very highlighted section right now with your government. So, and now, of course, with our partnership, trying to bring in those areas in the military area, that's exciting because Slovenia is already a partner in the part of NATO with disaster and disaster response. And during these times, we're able to try and pull in your airlift partnership that you already have, that I'm sure in your business community you're not familiar, but you already are part of that in NATO, and we plan to bring that in a bigger way. And then, of course, last year in 2019, we brought, there were 161 bilateral and multilateral events here in Slovenia. This year we had scheduled over 200, but because of things, we're not able to do that. So anyway, and then you can't forget the 25-year partnership with National Guard of Colorado. So there, you know, we're busy.
Yeah, you're super busy, and I'm so happy that I didn't even mention it, but we already got many questions from our audience, and I'll just read it to you. Peter said, "Dear Mrs. Ambassador, hello, it's nice to meet you. You are an exceptional woman," and I could completely concur to that. "I would like to know what's your background. I heard you were a businesswoman before, and can you tell us more about that?" Linda, when you came to Slovenia, you basically came as a star. We were all wondering who is our new ambassador, who is new American ambassador. Your exceptional family came with you, but then we heard you were really a businesswoman. So maybe if you can share with us a bit about that.
Of course. So certainly I started out as a businesswoman, and our business was so successful that I was able to step into creating my own nonprofit, which I did. And in the business world, I worked with banks, and we worked all over the southeast of the U.S., so in several states. And so I was able to get familiar with that arena, the banking, and then housing and development and those type things. Then the nonprofit, I was able to work with governments in different countries and from a different angle. And now I'm a diplomat. And I think because I have the business experience and being able to get in front of people in those different arenas, that it's been a benefit to this diplomatic new realm world. So I love it.
So here is an interesting question that was posed by Mika. What are you now more, an ambassador or a businesswoman?
Oh, I think they go hand in hand. The difference in being a businesswoman is things move a lot faster. And with diplomacy, you know, I've learned there are so many different levels that you have to go through, and to basically get to your goal and what you want. So I've learned a lot of patience being a diplomat, but I think I'm a business diplomat because I look at things on how to achieve a goal and the different steps like you do in a business plan. So I think that's been a wonderful benefit as an ambassador. It's moved slower because of the diplomatic realm, but it's still very similar to the business world as long as you keep in mind and stay patient.
And here is the question, what was the drive? Why have you decided to become an ambassador, a diplomat? What was basically behind that you decided for such a step that basically moved you away from your family? Part of your family is with you, but part is still in US. What was the decision and the moment that you decided to do so?
Well, that's a great question. What happened was, with my work in Washington, D.C. on behalf of my nonprofit, I was engaging with our congressional members quite a bit because I was trying to focus on one country and get some things in our budget for this specific country. And because of that long-term relationship and going back and forth to DC and working with our congressional members, we developed friendships, and it was across both sides of the aisle. And I got a phone call, and they asked, some of my friends on Capitol Hill asked me if I was interested in diplomacy. And of course, how could you say no? I mean, I'm excited, and this to me is one of the best jobs because it brings in everything I've done in the past to one focus point.
And here the question from our audience, wow, really active audience. Thank you so much. And if you want to pose your questions, there is still a possibility Q&A section, just type it in. But the question is, you had a charity, so now our viewers are wondering, is this charity still active? And basically how you decided to go to the nonprofits.
Okay, so yes. The charity's still active. My son runs it. Because of the partnerships that were developed early on, it runs like a business, and you just continue the same way with those partners in the business, so in the charity business. And what made me stop the business world and go into the nonprofit world? A mindset. I saw that the business was running well, and we had a tragic event in our family, and I wanted to do something different and be what I felt like was more proactive in helping others. And so we started our nonprofit in one country, and now we're in 15 different have worked in 15 different other countries. But, you know, just an event, and then you decide, I want to do something different.
And here, basically, you proved with that everyone can change a part of the world if you decide so. So in the charity work, what are the things that you're most proud of?
I believe the difference that I've made in thousands of lives of children, whether it's education or the different policies that I've worked on adoption policies with different countries and Hague rules, and just trying to help in those areas, the rights of a child. And so I guess that's what I would say that I felt has been the most important part of that work.
And we really highly respect you for that. And now the question that is here, and I also wrote a few of them, it's about the relationship between US and Slovenia. We've always been partners, we cooperated, but where do you see the untapped potential our audience is asking that we could do better?
That's a good question. You know, we've, as partners, gone back decades before Slovenia became a democracy. And so you have deep roots already in the US. And with those roots, I think there are unmeasurable possibilities that we could reach out to. Of course, I mentioned cyber security before, since that's a focus of this country, and certainly the US. Cybersecurity, science and technology, any of those new developing areas are hotspots, of course, here and in the US. I love the fact that I've seen already strong businesses from Slovenia in the US, like the hydroelectric and car parts. We already have those strong relationships. I just think increasing those already developed businesses and bonds, and then venturing out to where things are expertise here, and focusing on state to state. Don't look at the US as this big entity that you can't arrive in. Just like when we started our business, we didn't focus on all the different states we were going to be in. We focused on the state we were in and started our business in that state. So I think find your niche in a perfect state, and then reach out to me and say, you know, we would like to engage in Nevada or whatever state, and I'm more than certainly interested in getting in front of different chambers. I've already brought in 2 new chambers and focus on others to engage with. Give me an idea of another chamber and I'll jump in for you.
And I can really say that that's true, because AmCham is a long time in developing better economic relationship, but also open door for businesses either to US or American businesses here. And we never saw as active and to the spot ambassador like you are. So thank you for that. And don't invite us too much. We might jump on you with all the different ideas, and I'm sure you will help with that. I already saw how you did help. Here's one question that is not related directly to this relationship that we'll certainly come back to, but it's, hello, my question is what university you went to become such a good diplomat? I would say that's probably the University of Life, but people might be surprised what university you really finished.
I graduated from Auburn University in mathematics and computers, and that really has nothing to do with diplomacy, but it has everything to do with Slovenia. So when I arrived in Slovenia and found out that it was a science and technology country, and then when I was learning in DC, specifically areas here, it was exciting to find out that I might actually get to use my degree. But definitely the University of Life has taught me diplomacy, jumping out there, and I think my Southern roots and easy to get out and talk to people.
And here, something that seems really natural for you as well is doing business ties with different stakeholders. And the question that we got is, what's really your mission now in terms of economy, more transactions, more joint ventures? Where would you like to see better relationship, or even we have a good relationship, but there is, as we said, a great potential. US now is the third, according to the Bank of Slovenia, investor to Slovenia. So what's your goal? Where do you want to see our relationship go?
Well, I've already tried connecting new ports. So certainly the fact that Slovenia has a wonderful port that is developing and trying to enlarge in areas, and so that relationship port to port, so increasing in trade in any way. I've already connected your port to a new port, Mobile, the state of Alabama, and to increase trade opportunities in different areas. Then, you know, in tapping into what you're an expert in, the niche. When I brought the Alabama team here, they were so excited to hear about the niche of tooling and that Slovenia has. So whatever your specific niche is, there's certainly a lot of areas. And then right now with cyber and 5G and any of those areas, those innovations are certainly where we're heading in the US as well.
One thing that we should be aware of is that, of course, you also are here to help American businesses. And we can see in many different sectors that American businesses are active now in the financial sector, in ICT. So there are many opportunities here in Slovenia, and we can say that they're good corporate citizens, and the jobs that they are providing are basically the ones that are well paid, and as said, also socially responsible. So in this area, of course, we would like to see more American businesses coming to Slovenia. Do you think that we have a chance, and what should we do in order to get more interesting and become a hub for businesses?
Already, we have sent 2 of our embassy team members to the US since the first this year. They engaged in 2 different states and 40 different businesses. So I think the #1 thing to do as a business is to reach out to a chamber, and the chambers where you're going to find the different connections. And I'm certainly willing to be a part of that connection and reaching out to different chambers. But like I said, we've already engaged with 40 different in 2 different states, and there are many opportunities. Chambers are dying to have partners like Slovenian business people.
Right. Here is one question that was also posed. How do you get along with the Slovenian government? You know that you can always say no comment. This is something that we were taught, but it's basically important as an ambassador that you have a good relationship. So how would you say is your relationship with Slovene government?
Well, I can say honestly that I worked well with the previous government, and I have already started working with this new government, and we look forward to a lot of the government officials we already knew as an embassy and already had those connections and relationships. And meeting with your new government has been exciting because we're ready, and your government's ready to look in different areas of partnerships and willingness, and I'm excited. I can't wait to re-engage and continue to engage. When I say re-engage, I mean get in front of. I've only gotten in front of 3 of them so far, but we're connecting like we are now on the internet and through these services. But it's when you get in front of people and you can sit down and discuss plans, and believe me, we've got plans.
Which is important. And here maybe even a broader question, Linda. World is really now in a lockdown. We are all expecting what will be happening next. We are talking about new normal. But one thing that definitely probably stays, and I hope that stays, is that we understand that we are all connected, we are all interconnected and interdependent. So what do you think, what should we do now in order to come out of this crisis stronger and not weaker?
Honestly, there's so many opportunities now with your government and other governments and EU, and then of course US, everyone putting out these stimulus packages. As a businesswoman, if I were in the business world right now, I would be anxiously waiting to pull into those areas. So obviously that's been a great planned package and stimulus, and I look forward to seeing how businesses can pull together with that. But other areas in this new normal, I think how it'll be different is I think we've been sitting on ready for so long that everyone's going to be eager to step out and try and engage. So I think we're all going to be so busy that we're going to have to pick and choose where to go and what to do first. And so making priorities right away to me would be very important as a business on what's your goal first right out of this new normal. And then certainly going from there down the list. So I'm very goal-oriented.
Here's the question about the languages that we should speak. Is there any language that you learned except your mother tongue?
Well, of course, working in Malawi, Africa, learned their native language. They're English speaking as well, but their largest native language is Chichewa. So working there for 15 years, I learned a little bit of that. And then, of course, now that I'm here in Slovenia, I've been learning your language. And I, even during these times of social distancing where I can't meet with my tutor in person, I've been doing it and practicing when I'm by myself walking. I'll read a sign and record it and then send it to her. So things like that.
So tell me, what's the hardest word in Slovenian that you found, and what's the most beautiful one?
No, I love hearing people say, which I've been told that as a diplomat, I'm not supposed to say it that much, but I love when you say, Julia, that's like such a greeting, and then to say dobro došli, that's a fun word to say, but as far as hard words, there are a lot of very difficult words, so that's hard to pinpoint what would be most difficult. There's several.
We don't want to go to difficulties. There are enough around, so better to stay with you and dobrodošli. Yeah. So the question that also is there is, you have a degree in a different, basically different world. So what were the things that you had to learn as a diplomat? You said patience already, but what are the other things that basically you learned by becoming a diplomat?
That things can happen. You can move initiatives. When I was working back in DC for the initiative for another country, I was told that probably wouldn't happen because it had never happened before with our budget. And if you can stay focused and be diligent and reach out to the right people and bring the right community together, and it doesn't have to be a certain party or a certain group, because I think the more diversity, the better in any decision. As long as you can communicate and work together to make things happen. That's like we do in business deals. You know, I don't walk into a bank and only think I'm going to get the deal that I asked for. You know, there's negotiations. And so the same with diplomacy, bringing in people that will negotiate for the best for your country.
And here's the question, is there any advice that you could give to young people how to become diplomats? And I think part of this, what you've just said, is already an advice. But anyway, is there something that you would advise the ones who would want to become diplomats?
You know, in the U.S., I would say, you know, reach out to the Foreign Service Institute. So I'm sure there's similar governmental things here that can educate on where government policies are willing to educate. Then certainly the way I started was travel. So I, with my nonprofit work, started going country to country and getting out and about with travel. So, and with different travel, there's different areas you can join in, of course, with that. NGOs, Peace Corps. So, and then from that, you learn diplomacy as well.
You need to stay curious, I would guess. And here you mentioned Malawi. That was an important part of what you have done for the better of the world. So can we go a bit there? What was the reason you chosen Malawi, and what were you doing there?
I tell everyone Malawi chose us. Someone from Malawi came to our church and needed some things to be built, needed doctors, and so we jumped in on the building part. And then once we got there, then saw the needs of the orphan and orphan care and child welfare. So I guess open mind once you arrive wherever you are is important as well.
I know that you miss your daughters and your family a lot. So do you communicate via digital? How are they? How is your husband? They must be missing you as well.
My family has been back in the U.S. about a month, and the perfect thing about life today is that we're able to get on Facebook and Zoom and different platforms, WhatsApp, and talk. So I actually call them usually when they're studying, because they're still doing the classes here from the British school. So I'll catch them when they're studying around the table and talk to them about, sometimes they wake up and they do Zoom with their classes here, which in the US usually is about 3 a.m.
Wow.
But they've adjusted. They don't do it every morning, and yes, we miss each other, but it's important for me to be here in this time, in this place, new government, new world with this pandemic, and it's important for the ambassador to be here to stay and lead and motivate.
And here now we're coming almost to an end, but anyway, we are curious also about your relationship with your first lady, born in Slovenia and raised in Slovenia. So we know that you know Melania. What's your feelings about her? I think that Slovenians can be proud that we have the first lady of US, or at least that we feel she is also partially ours.
Well, number one, I think she's one of the most beautiful first ladies we've ever had, inside and out. Her heart's amazing towards her Be Best program, and just you can see her, the way she interacts with children. It's been nice as ambassador to her country to be able to reach out quarterly is what I try to do, and engage with her office to let them know exactly what we're trying to accomplish here as an embassy. It was certainly wonderful to engage with the First Lady and President before I came one-on-one, and I actually got to meet her parents at that meeting as well. And just to know that I have that connection, that if there's ever necessity, that they're willing to jump in and partner and help is wonderful. So it's a gift.
Yeah, and we hope that she will come and visit, and this is something that will definitely come many times to you, but we understand that it's important that this is all planned and that it's not that easy, because sometimes people ask themselves, is she interested in Slovenia at all? But you said that she is, and she wonders what's happening here.
Yes, and you know, we have to all remember too as well, it's an election year, and you know, she needs to look like the First Lady of the United States, which she does a wonderful job at doing. So she needs to just be there to support the president in this election year, just like any other government official would assume that they would do.
I was listening to one of your speeches, how do you present Slovenia when you go to US? And I used it sometimes, so wow, you said wow. So what WOW stands for?
Now you're going to put me in a spot. I can tell you today's wow moment that I was going to discuss is the 3 A's. That number one, when you say 3 A's in the US, you think of AAA quality. And Slovenia is amazing with that. And so for 3 A's for me for this conversation was going to be that I'm your advocate, is the first A. And then with that, with being your advocate, I'm also here to accelerate, to push things through, and to accelerate all the positives of Slovenia, and accelerate the initiatives, put the gas on, move things through, and then also to make my footprint all right, I'm forgetting my last A, and I had
Can
it.
I add it? Just
yeah,
amazing.
amazing.
You are amazing. I really.
And then, all right, so my last day was to be sure that of accomplishments, that I have accomplished something. So the wow factor is, I remember, wonderful. Have a wonderful location, wonderful people, step out to be out. So step out of the box. And then I remember that speech also, I talked about location. The 3 most important things in most anything that we do is the location, and Slovenia has the location. So
with that, Linda, I really think that there are so many things we could be asking you, so many things that you can help. And with that, I would just like to thank you that you're not only a good advocate of our country also to US and broader, but that you're also an amazing friend. And it's really wonderful to have you in Slovenia. We're happy that you're with us, and we see that there will be many potentials coming to be accomplished. I would like to thank you for today. I wish you to stay positive, to stay optimistic, and to feel for our country, because every time what we say, we are the only country in the world with love in the name, and that's also something that counts. Thank you so much, Linda.
Love that as well. Thank you. It's great to be here and be your friend.
Thank you so much. Stay healthy, and we'll be seeing each other more. Najlepša hvala pa seveda tudi vsem vam, ki ste bili danes z nami. Preživite lep vikend. Vsi si želimo, da bi se počasi vrnili v tisto kar smo poznali, ampak kot pravijo, obeta se nam nova normalnost, pa naj ta normalnost čim prej pride in naj bo seveda obogatena s priložnostmi. Pazite nase, ostanite zdravi, hvala pa tudi vsem našim članom, da nam omogočate, da smo lahko aktivni, še zlasti lepa hvala vsem patron članom, brez vas bi vse, kar počnemo, počeli veliko težje. Ali pa bi bilo pravzaprav nemogoče. Hvala lepa, ostanite zdravi.
Hvala, thank you.